One of the best things you can do for yourself spiritually is to practice the art of forgiveness. And you want to start first by forgiving yourself for all of the things that you've been through, for the life that you lived, and for what you've done to other people. You want to let go of all of that shame, all of your guilt, and whatever others may have projected onto you as well. But when you practice forgiveness of others after you've forgiven yourself for going through everything that you've gone through in your life, when you practice forgiveness for others, even your worst enemies, right? And even your parents, let's say you had a bad relationship with your parents, or people who were just out to get you, you might say, people who made you feel like a victim in any sense of the word. When you practice forgiveness for even the worst people, spiritually, what that does is that gives the vibration that that person can now be your spiritual ally, because obviously what we're going through here is nothing more than just a physical experience. So we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So when you forgive your worst enemies, which are your biggest lessons, and the people who transform you the most because they shock you into transforming, when you forgive your worst enemies, what that does on a higher plane is that elevates you, because you're moving past something that is perceived as darkness. And in that darkness, you can bring forth light. So this is what I've done. I've done this for my worst enemies. I've done this for people who have done me wrong, or for people who I had strong negative feelings against. And what this has done is it has turned them into my allies. And psychically, when you do begin to practice the art of forgiveness, not condoning what people did, but forgiving them for yourself and sending them love, right? When you practice that art, psychically, what that does is, since everyone is aware of everything that goes on a spiritual level, that will, over time, also lighten that person's heart and bring them towards you, because we all have the duality of good and bad in us. So when you give them that love, that also makes it more likely for them to change and turn themselves around. And ultimately, over time, whether it's in this life or in another life, you two will come together and it will be under harmony, and love will overtake and bring that light forth from that darkness. Obviously, the worst experiences that we have are meant to teach us something. Not everything can be good, because when everything is good and when everything is just light, we can get blinded by that same light. So that's why we have to go through these negative experiences. And that's why we also have to practice the art of forgiveness and letting go. That's how we can elevate and transcend our consciousness.